Thomas Farinella challenged jury instructions in front of Judge Ann Donnelly. That was necessary to then challenge RICO at the appellate level. When Baumjean did her appellate brief, she failed to put that challenge in her brief. So Judge Sullivan said 4 times it wasn't done, so you lose we're not even going to entertain your RICO challenge. You lose by default. You forfeit the right to even bring RICO to the appeals oral argument because according to her brief, it was not raised in front of Judge Ann Donnelly. And you can't bring something to the appeals court that you did not argue in the lower court. And it's an automatic loss for Robert. And because she didn't submit that at the appellate level, she cannot raise that with the Supreme Court. Or she can, it'll just get tossed out for the same reason. You cannot bring to the Supreme Court what you did not bring to the appellate court. And you cannot bring to the appellate court what you did not bring to the court before it. Rkelly going to the Supreme Court is pointless, useless. Of course they'll hear it because it's Rkelly's case, but it is forfeited before he even gets there. He loses by default because Baumjean did not introduce at the appeal level the necessary jury instruction objection to even bring the argument of RICO, according to Judge Sullivan, who said it 4 times. You needed to, step 1, object to jury instructions, challenge it, and then you can bring the argument to the appeal court. Even if she lost in the appeal court, you then had the grounds to take it to the Supreme Court. Rkelly loses his New York appeal by default. He forfeits the RICO charges because his attorney, Jennifer Baumjean, failed to submit in her appellate brief that Thomas Farinella did challenge jury instructions. And what else was left out? What else was forgotten? What other mistakes were made? There are 5,000 pages to the transcripts, all types of evidence and witness testimony. What else did Baumjean fail to put into her appeal for Robert Kelly to help him win? This is a huge loss. This is a huge mistake, and it has cost him his New York appeal. And most egregious, it has cost him the ability to argue RICO at the Supreme Court level, because what was not introduced at the appellate level can't be introduced at the Supreme Court. And the RICO is dead in the water at the appellate level. The New York appeal is dead in the water. He lost by default because they weren't even entertaining her RICO challenge because she did not submit that the jury instructions were challenged. A challenge to the jury instructions by Thomas Farinella took up roughly 10 pages. How was that missed? How was that overlooked? Obviously, that's not the only thing that was overlooked, because if you can miss 10 pages of a jury challenge, you missed other stuff too. Other things in witness testimony, other things in evidence that were not submitted. Robert now has to do the full 31 years. He might get a year off for forced labor. They seem to be in agreement that oral sex is not forced labor. So he's still doing 30 years. Minus the 5 that he's already done, he's got to do 25 more years because of the errors of Baumjean.